know someone who's made talking into an art form? Who has turned silence into strength? Do you know someone about a career shift who's turned their career shift more into a life remix? Well, hey, welcome to Global Indian International School Dubai's first ever podcast. Let's find out who our first speaker is. And now, it's time to reveal our very first speaker. Let's have a little drum roll, shall we? We're joined with Miss Malavika. So, Miss, how are you today?
I'm really good, Advika, and what a great intro. Thank you.
You're welcome, you're welcome. So, before we get into questions, let's have a little introduction. So, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
So, my name is Malavika. I am a drama teacher. I'm a public speaking coach. I'm a TEDx speaker. I run a business. I'm an avid reader, and I love the mountains.
Miss, do you want to add anything else more
I
to the
think
list?
That's it.
Okay,
I
okay.
think that's it. I think that's all you need to know about
Okay.
me.
So, let's start with a little throwback, shall we?
Uh-huh.
So, what's your favorite childhood memory that still inspires you today?
So I had a really lovely childhood. I had a really interesting childhood, I should say, maybe not lovely. And I was the daughter of a publisher, right? So I grew up in the shade of a bookshelf.
Wow.
And I wasn't much of a kid who liked to go out and play. I was very much of an introvert. My only best friend was my dad. And every day I would wait for him to come back from work, and I would sit on his lap and he would tell me all these stories and I would tell him all these stories. So I really grew up just with books and my dad as my best friend. Another really amazing thing about my childhood was that my dad worked for a company that was launching audiobooks in India at that time. And of course, this was the early 90s. So you would hear cassettes of books, right? So the first term at Mallory Towers and Roald Dahl's Enormous Crocodile and all of these Peter Pan, all these books would be translated into audio cassettes, and we would receive the first copies because they were testing it on the market. So I would listen to it over and over and over again, and that's where I fell in love with voices and voice acting and accents and storytelling and all of that. I think my best friends were those cassettes.
Okay, so that's interesting. So, let's stay in the past and let's go back to your school days. And since you said you were into books all the time, so screen time wasn't a big thing back in those days, not at all.
No, we had one big TV, one of those flat TVs.
Oh, I've
with
seen it, yeah.
Yeah, we had one in our living room and everybody had to watch the same thing. There was no concept of everyone on their own screens. Right?
So this question might be like a bit of a contradiction. So how is growing up back in the offline days so much different than now, like with creativity and attention span? And how do you think kids are evolving with these type of changes?
I think the great gift of my childhood was that I was allowed to be bored. When I was growing up, like for example, I'd spend a lot of time in my grandmother's house, and she had an enormous backyard with like 4 mango trees and 6 coconut trees and a well and plants, and I could sit there and literally watch ants for an hour.
Whoa.
That was what we did as children, right? And there wasn't that much entertainment. So all you really had was your imagination. There was really nowhere else to escape to. And when I used to get books, my dad used to bring home from the office like a pile of books for me, and I would finish it in that day and then give it back. Sometimes we had circulating libraries, which is a concept that is probably alien to you, but we would like borrow books in the summer holidays in the morning, give it back in the afternoon. So I think like a lot of things that we aspire to now as educators and parents, which is giving children the space to have an imagination, the space to be creative, creating this sort of circular economy, is that it? Where you're not always buying, but you're sharing, you're revisiting. I think that was a really big part of our childhood, right?
Okay.
And I think that's what was so special.
Yeah.
I would pick mine over yours any day.
I mean, I think I would too if I had all those accessibilities. But that's interesting because nowadays, like kids like us, we grow up with like screens on our hands. So let's transition to the next question. And like speaking on the school system, what do you think is the biggest difference the school system we have? Because we're growing up in like an Apple school and we're having technology everywhere. And in your days, you had heavy textbooks. And I used to see my mom's textbooks at home, like thick textbooks. So what do you think is the major experience difference we have today versus you?
Look, I don't think that our education system when I was growing up was really the best it could be, right? I know a lot of people who like grew up saying, oh, I loved my school and it was amazing. I think my school had a lot that it could improve. I felt like the teachers were not as inspired as I feel like I think teachers should be. I feel like there was not enough creativity. I think class sizes were too large. We had 42 children to a classroom.
Oof, okay.
If you were exceptional, you got noticed. If you were a troublemaker, you got noticed. If you were anywhere in between, you were kind of lost.
So like in that gray area kind of, yeah.
So you would get lost, right? So I don't think schools then were fantastic.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the school that I went to. But I have to say this. I feel like the pressure on you guys is just so much. And I'll tell you why, okay? My parents made it very clear to me that we didn't have the money for me to go to Harvard or Stanford or NYU if I was brilliant. I mean, if you were brilliant, well, great, but you're going to have to work your way into a scholarship or wait to do your master's when you have the money. The best my parents could afford was maybe sending me to like a great college in Bangalore, or if we were really, really lucky, maybe I would go to like JNU in Delhi. But that was about it. Okay. But with you guys, I think you've been given the license to dream.
Yeah.
And that's so scary for you because you can literally, your parents are telling you, you can become anything you want.
Exactly.
Whichever college you aspire to. We will work hard to make sure you get there. And suddenly now the world has opened up and you've got to do all of these things. It's not enough anymore just to be top of the class or just to be, a 99% holder.
Yeah.
You also have to have a great CV. You also have to have built a startup. You also should have done social work. You also need to have a TikTok account. You also need to have friends. You also need to have a social life. It's like, and stay on top of trends and do this. And it's like so much. It's so much. I don't know how you manage. Like, you're 17 and you're more burnt out than I am.
No, like it's college application season for us right now. Don't even get me started with the essays. Essays are not enough. Your marks, okay, you have to be 99%. Because when you're applying to so many universities, as you said, CV, essay, co-curriculars, it's absolute maddening.
It's so much. The only reason I did drama was that was the only thing we had. Like, we didn't have the choice of you can do golf, or you can do horse riding, or you can swim, or you can go for table tennis, or you can learn to sing. It's like, look, we have one drama class. Join if you want. If you don't want to, please leave. Like, that was it.
I mean, like, because our school days now, we have so many clubs and so many activities that we students are involved in multiple things, which maybe, as you said, you didn't have that many opportunities back in those days.
You just told me that you're hosting a TED.
Yeah.
You have done a TEDx talk already and you're only 17. Which means your CV is probably more impressive than my CV right now. And that's a bit scary for me.
Oopsies.
So by the time you're 39, which is my age, you would have done how many TEDx's?
Hopefully 25 more TEDx's.
You're averaging one a year.
Maybe.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. So keeping all that, I'm kind of curious about you. You told us you were an introvert all your life. But so coming back to your school days, were you into like clubs, sports, or maybe more of like behind the scenes?
I was so bad at sport. I can't catch a ball to save my life. I failed in PT. There was actually a PT exam and I failed it. Like, I was that bad.
Okay.
I think my PT teacher hated me. But I was really good at reading and writing. I've always been good with words. And I was really good at speaking and theatre. So these were my strengths.
Okay. So
I was quite nerdy in school. So I was like top of the class.
Oh, so you were like
I was Hermione Granger, basically.
Stop. Okay. So keeping on to your point, so how do you think student involvement is important for personal growth as well in all these school activities which we have these days?
See, I think it's important, right? But I think it's important in a way that it's got to be more than just ticking a box. I think a lot of times, right, like right now, people are like, okay, I've got to do some social service, tick a box. Okay, I've got to do some sort of music, tick a box. It's like, no, more than learning how to play the piano, I want you to learn how to love piano.
Yeah.
Like how to love drama, how to go deeper rather than broader. And I think that's where the education system is struggling right now, to encourage depth over width.
I agree. Correct.
And like pick a couple of things, but just do them really, really well. Go slow, think about it.
Okay.
Pick one thing, but just really love it.
Yeah, stick to it and like master that as well, right?
I don't think even master. I think
just enjoy it.
Yeah. Like if you've mastered everything at 17, what's the fun of life? Like,
okay, fair point.
Actually, quite the opposite. I think suck at it. Be really bad, actually. Pick things that you're really bad at and then try really hard for a really long time.
So I think I'm going to pick singing now because I'm really bad at it.
There you go. I think that's what we should be aiming at. That's what we should be aiming at.
Okay, so this actually kind of sets the stage for our next segment. So we loved hearing about your creative process and your fun collaborations. It really shows how much thought goes into putting yourself out there. But I'm curious about the journey behind it all, because from building a school life to building a career without any bumps is kind of impossible, right? So I want to know, what's like a rejection or a setback that led you to do something way bigger and like is a big career shift for you?
So here's an interesting story. I was in love with math. I still am.
Okay.
I love maths. I love graphs. I love statistics. Even today, like the moment my sales team presents me with our numbers and our like profit and loss statements, I'm devouring it. Okay, I love it.
Uh-huh.
I topped my university and I got 100 on 100 in econometrics, and I was all set to go to the Indian School of Business, which is like everything else in my life, the most that my parents could afford, it was the best business school in India at the time in 2008. So I did my GMAT. I got a fantastic score. I applied and I thought, of course I'm going to get in. Of course I'm going to get in. Like, look at me. Of course I'm going to get in. Okay, I'm acing it, like doing the extracurriculars, top of my class, articulate, can write, have a radio job already. This is great. I get a rejection letter saying, I'm sorry, but you're not accepted. And maybe they were looking for work experience. I'm not sure. But that spun me in a completely different direction. And that's when I said, forget it, I'm going to choose radio. It was almost as if, like, in your language, I wanted to break up with economics before economics broke up with me. So I was like, I'll dump you before you dump me.
Exactly.
And so I decided to choose radio. And look how life turned out.
Yeah.
Radio brought me to Dubai. I spent 14 years doing this incredible job, and then it brought me back to running a business. So all the economics that I didn't use in 2007, I'm using now.
No.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. It's like rejection is not the end of your life. It's just a redirection. Am I right?
Absolutely. And I think that especially early on, you feel like you have it all figured out.
You
really don't.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to plan out our life at 18. I don't think that's ever possible.
Dude, like I said, I'm 39. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Like, I'm still figuring it out. I just about know what I want to be next year. Like, I genuinely, like, I think we need to spend more time being confused and like embracing it.
I think that's a good point for all of our young listeners out there.
Yeah.
So
it's okay if you don't know.
Keeping on that note, to all our young listeners, what would be one piece of advice you would give them right now? Because the world is moving at such a rapid pace. What would you give them to, like, okay, slow down, this is your piece of advice?
I think learning how to balance it all is more important right now than having all the answers.
Yeah.
You guys live in a world where you could Gemini, ChatGPT, Copilot, whatever, you know, a fantastic essay. You don't really need... I think the purpose of the education system has shifted, right? We don't need to teach you stuff anymore. We need to teach you how to just be. So I think finding your balance and finding yourself and finding your core, finding out, I think asking much bigger questions, stuff like, what do I really value? What kind of work do I want to do in the future? What kind of impact do I want to leave on the world? At what point do I want to draw the line between work and home? I think these are the bigger questions you actually need help answering.
So that perfect balance.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be taught the Pythagoras theorem anymore. It's okay, you figure it out.
So like in economics, we're finding the equilibrium of life.
Exactly, exactly. I think the larger, deeper purposes and the bigger questions really need to be addressed.
So you were telling us how a rejection got you into RJ and into the radio field. So for anyone dreaming to be into radio or into content creation or building their very own platform, could you give them like a step-by-step tutorial on how to do that?
Okay, I think number one is if you want to be in it because you want to be famous, that's the wrong way to look at it.
Okay.
I think someone who I really look up to, his name is Alain de Botton. He's a philosopher and writer.
Okay.
And he said something really interesting. He said that if you're the sign of a secure childhood is a kid who doesn't want to be famous. Because that means they have enough internal validation. They don't need to stand up on stage and get other people to clap for them. They just know they're like, it's okay, I'm good. I'm cool. I don't need you to clap for me.
Exactly.
Which I think is such an important thing. So I think before you go into this world of content creation, if you get hooked on other people's likes and you get hooked on other people's opinion, that is a roller coaster ride for life. Because when they love you, you're up. When they hate you, you're down. It can be like a really choppy ride, right? So I think like first take the time to kind of get the internal insurance package sorted. So that you know that like if it goes up, it's okay. If it goes down, it's okay. But I'm still me and I've still got my stuff going. And I love doing what I'm doing because I love the thing I'm doing. It's the doing of the thing that's exciting. Right?
Exactly. I love it.
when I'm in a drama class, for example, it could be sunrise, sundown, hunger, sleep, everything goes out the window. For me, in that moment, only that class exists.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter to anybody else. Honestly, like, it's not like we're doing groundbreaking Broadway work, okay? But to me, it feels like that. And I think being able to find that thing that makes you feel like it doesn't matter if it's sunrise or sunset, that's the goal. Not like how many people will watch the play, how many people will like the play, how famous will I get, how much will I make, like all that is an aside.
So it's like when your passion has a purpose, your life feels complete because you're looking for what makes you happy, right?
I would love to tell you that your life feels complete, but it almost never feels complete.
Oopsie.
Okay. Okay. Oops, newsflash. No, I think when you're passionate, you lead a life of passion. The challenges are different. Now you're too passionate. Now you care too much about things. So it's never that life is completely complete. That's the sad part.
Okay, I mean, of course, there's always going to be something there. It's going to be better.
It's like, who is that who said, I think this is some Instagram wisdom, right? You got to choose your heart. Right? Being single is hard, being married is hard.
Exactly.
Doing a job you love is hard, doing a job you don't love is hard. Everything is hard. You just got to pick your heart.
Your perspective into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we were doing a little bit of research and we heard that you won the College Times Women of Substance Award.
That's right.
So what did this recognition mean to you and how did you feel personally?
So here's a funny story, right? I get the email about Women of Substance Award and I thought it was a press forward. I thought somebody else is winning it and they're inviting me to go and watch it and cover it as news. So I was like, oh, I'm too busy to come. I can't make it. And then the College Times editor actually called saying that, like, no, I think you misunderstood. You won the award.
Oh.
You're not here as press. Like, you won.
You are the awardee.
You're the awardee. Take your award. So then, I mean, of course, it was really lovely because there was such amazing other women on that stage, including Dr. Zulekha, who was like the first woman gynecologist in the UAE who set up all of the Zulekha hospitals. And there was a woman there who was she was a pilot and she'd, flown all these like first of its kind flights. And just incredible women who were really, groundbreaking in many literal and figurative ways, right?
Yeah.
Both literally and metaphorically, they were literally like they were breaking ground.
Wow.
And that was exciting. So to be in that room.
That must be like, I can't even imagine how I would feel just to sit in a room full of such established.
You'll be there soon.
Yes, we
Mark
will.
my words. At 39, you'll be like, oh my God, another award.
Oh.
Can you tell my PR team to take it, please, because I'm too busy.
Oh, please, PR team. Thank you. So, coming down to this last question for this segment. So, looking back, who or what first inspired you to step into this world? And eventually, how did it help you evolve you into a better person that you are today?
Like, who inspired me to step into the media?
Into the media world, yeah.
I'll tell you the story of a teacher, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I was like 10, 11, I think. Not very good at sport. And you know how it is when you're a kid who's not good at sport. You feel like, is there really any place for me to shine? Like, because I'm really bad at that. So, and there was a drama class in our school. So while the school was questionable on many levels, the drama class was spot on.
Okay.
Because we had a teacher called Ratan Thakur Kran and he would run this drama class on Saturday mornings. And it was a free thing. Oh. And you could go in at like 9 in the morning and you'd stay there till 12. And I lived for Saturday to Saturday. Like my life was like, I can't wait till next Saturday. Any day was how far is it away from Saturday.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he did all these drama exercises and we'd put up plays and I would try to do different accents. It was the only place in the school where I could like mimic other people and it wouldn't be seen as
offensive.
Being disrespectful. Yeah, it was like, oh wow, you're a great mimic.
Yeah.
Thanks, actually. So we did all these plays and it was really amazing. And I think he was the first person who looked at me and said, maybe you should get into performing arts.
Wow.
Would you be interested? And I said, look, I don't think we can afford to go to the US and study drama. And I don't speak Hindi, so I don't think I could do the National School of Drama. And so he said, wait, let me figure out if there's a scholarship. And of course, I didn't get the scholarship and I didn't even apply, actually. But the fact that one teacher looked at me as if I was someone special, that shifted everything for me.
I think having that one teacher who really knows who you are changes your entire career path. Totally. What would you tell the little 10-year-old Malavika now? Like, hey, look at me, where am I now?
No, I would tell the little 10-year-old Malavika to I think, oh wow, there's so much advice. I'd probably overwhelm her.
Oops.
I probably shouldn't meet 10-year-old Malavika. I give her too much advice.
Okay, so we're going to come. We finished all of the things on a serious note. It's time to change up the pace. And we're actually going to hand off the segment to Aaron.
Okay.
He's going to make you laugh, he's going to make you think, or he's going to make you do both. So, Aaron, come on in.
Amazing.
Hi again, Miss Malavika.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, so now that we know about your life back in your school days and your love for drama, I want to know more about your journey now. And a major part of your journey has been the Hive. The Hive has grown from just a handful of students to hundreds of students across the UAE. When you look back, what moment makes you feel proud of that journey?
Oh, wow. Okay, wow. So the Hive started in 2014. And I bought the company over in 2019 from two friends of mine. So that for me was a really big deal, Aaron, because are your parents entrepreneurs? Do they?
No.
Yeah, so same with me, right? Both my parents are not entrepreneurs. They're both salaried employees. And to them, this idea was a bit like, what do you mean? You want to run a business? Why? Just get a salary? Like, why would you? What? Are you sure? But my sister actually pushed me to do it, and she teaches entrepreneurship. She's a professor at INSEAD and also works at Google, and she's by far the smarter of the two siblings. But she's the one who kind of asked me to jump into this, and I'm glad I took her advice. And when I took over the Hive, I think we were at about 175 kids. Today we have 1,200 students.
A huge jump.
That's a huge jump. We've literally grown 6 times in 6 years.
Oh my, that's amazing that you're growing double every year.
That's crazy, right?
It's absolutely crazy.
I know.
And I bet all the students absolutely love the theater, the drama, the communication side of the Hive, right?
Yeah.
So what is it about these skills that make them so powerful and transformative for young people?
Look, Aaron, I feel like we belong in a world, fortunately or unfortunately, where it's not just about knowing how to do your job. My mom was a banker all her life, and nobody asked her to speak about banking. That was her job. She was a bank clerk. She had to go into the bank every day and record the ins and outs, and she had to calculate those numbers, and that's it. But you guys, you live in a world where not only do you have to do your job, and no matter what that job is, software engineer, teacher, politician, doctor, whatever you become, right? At the end of the day, if you're not able to speak about what you do in a way that can convince a room of people, you're going to hit a glass ceiling at some point, right? You're not going to be able to progress beyond a certain point. And that's not just talking about your job, it also means talking to a team, being able to galvanize a team to do something. If you're an entrepreneur, I need to speak to venture capitalists to fund my business. I need to speak to clients to make sure that they're on board. I need to speak to partners to get them to buy into my idea. So I'm speaking all the time actually in a leadership role. That's pretty much all I'm doing is communicating.
Yeah, and you're passing that on to your students at the Hive.
Yeah, the thing is that I think that more than teaching you the skill, we need to teach you all of these other sort of surrounding
Exactly.
things. And yeah,
Without the confidence and the speech skills, there's no point for the other skills. Life is basically revolving around how you present yourself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You needed to support your other skills. Not
Exactly.
that you can't, you shouldn't know any history. Your words shouldn't be empty.
Yeah.
You should have some good stuff you know how to do well.
Exactly.
But you need this too.
And it makes sense why so many students gain confidence through these skills, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and speaking of that, parents and students often talk about the confidence shift after being part of the Hive. Is there a particular student story that really stuck with you?
There's so many. There are so
Your one
many.
special moment.
So there was one kid who he joined us when he was about 7, and he was so petrified of being on stage that he would literally he would not come into the classroom. He would just stand outside the door and cry. Okay, so that was class number 1. And then class number 2, he opened the door and he stood near the door and cried. And then class number 3, he stood near the mirror and cried.
He's going through all the stages of grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then class number 4, he sat in the circle and was a bit like. And then class number 5, he said one word. And then class number. So you see what I mean? It was like a progression of every class, just a little more. And at the end of a 14 class term, he said one sentence on stage, which to any other parent may have been like, that's it. The whole term, and he said one sentence on stage. But his parents were so excited. They were crying in the audience. They were like, oh my God, you can't believe what happened today. It was such a big deal for him. It was such a big deal that he went up on stage and he did that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and we have hundreds of kids like that.
Yeah. Oh, training all of them must be so powerful, but also hectic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
emotionally demanding.
Mm-hmm. I can tell. Yeah. And speaking of confidence, which can be something you're born with or something we develop, do you think that focus on building confidence at the Hive influenced the way you approach the radio work and those on-air moments?
Yeah, I think drama taught me a lot. Confidence just being one of them. I think I was anyway a kid who liked to talk a lot and liked to be the center of attention. But I think what drama gave me is it taught me how to work with other people. It taught me how to be a good co-host. It taught me how to collaborate effectively, right? In improv, we have a rule called yes and, which means that if you say something, I'm not going to negate you on this podcast. I'm not going to be like, no, Aaron, that's wrong. I'm going to say yes and I'm going to add to it. So these are the things that I think drama really brings to you, that I could see it when I went on air. Like I could see how that kind of bolstered the work that I was doing. Right? I think making other people feel comfortable as well.
Yeah, it's a huge thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And air moments are really, I love watching those on-air moments. And I always wanted to ask an RJ this question. What's the funniest or strangest caller interaction that you've ever gotten on air?
Oh my God. There are so many bizarre ones. It's amazing. We've had people say stuff that they really shouldn't have on air. Like they said some like politically incorrect things. And we had to dump the caller immediately. So it's always scary. It's a little bit on edge.
You don't know what they're going to say. Yeah.
But there are also lots of very emotional moments on air. I remember when in Mumbai, the blast that happened at the Taj, and there was the attack in Mumbai. I was on air at that time, so I had to actually give those live updates when that was happening, and that was very different because I was in a country that wasn't India. Right? So I had to be really careful about the way that I was positioning this, because we have listeners from across the subcontinent. So I had to be really careful about my language, and I think that taught me a lot as well. That was an interesting experience. It was very different for me. Yeah.
But has there been any like really fun moment that stuck with you until now? Maybe a really funny caller or someone you didn't expect?
Actually, that's a good question. I mean, I guess the most fun callers we've had are just people who've like been listening for years.
And they're so excited to finally be on.
Excited to
they're also screeching as soon as they get on the call. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so excited to be honest.
That's amazing. But I want to ask a really fun question, just a very stupid question. But
no such thing as a stupid question.
But if Instagram and radio were to be shut down tomorrow, what's next for you?
I think I'll be very happy actually, because the Hive is really the center of my universe right now. My drama class is the center of the universe, and I think the world would be better off honestly without Instagram. So
might be. But have you never considered a full-time singing career? Because we heard your cover of Jealous of the Rain, and I'm being genuinely honest, I feel like you could go absolutely viral from doing covers of popular songs.
Oh, thanks.
You have such an amazing voice.
Hey, thanks, Aaron.
You're welcome. But
usually I'm just singing in the shower, in the car, on my phone. Like.
But honestly, you don't need a singing career to be viral, because your TED Talk already has gone viral with over 27 million views.
Was it 27 now?
It's 27 now.
Dude, I've not checked in ages.
Your bio says 23, but it's 27 now.
Oh my God.
So you talked about 7 ways to make a conversation with anyone, right?
Yeah.
And if you were to rewrite that list today, what's one thing that you'd add to it? Maybe something you've learned from these years?
Good question, actually. What would I add to that list? I think the thing that I would add, so what I think I was not aware of in 2016, but I am aware of now on the cusp of 2026, is how so many of the conversations that I enter are in such polarized spaces. What I mean by that is, like, even within our own families, at our own dinner tables, in our own friend groups, we have now such strong polarized opinions, right? You vote for this political party, I vote for that political party. Now we're not going to talk at all, because my political beliefs are completely different from your political beliefs.
Yeah.
You know, you're a Trump supporter, I'm a
a very debatable topic.
Republican, this and that, you know, pro this, anti that. I think we've gotten so we hang on to these labels so much that we've kind of forgotten how to just realize that there's human beings under those labels, and I'm only discovering that now.
That's a really good option to add. Now we've done a lot of talking with you here. we want to end off this with a fun, rapid question round.
Okay,
Are you
sure.
ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. If your voice had a color, what would it be?
Purple.
Purple. Radio in the past or podcasting in the future?
Podcasting in the future.
If your mic had a superpower, what would it be?
To be able to make me sound like any singer I wanted.
That's
I
fair,
should
that's
just be able
fair,
to
yeah.
sing badly and it'll be like, that sounds like Adele.
What's your main character song?
Good one. Wow, I don't know actually, but
Wow.
maybe like an Alicia Keys.
Alicia
This
Keys
Girl Is
songs?
on Fire.
Oh, very
kind of
powerful
vibe.
song.
Yeah.
What's one influencer that you collab with instantly?
Interesting. Locally, like in the local region, I think Khalida Alameri does some pretty cool stuff.
But internationally,
Internationally,
it could be a singer too. A duet.
I was watching some stuff that Lily Singh put out. And I was like, interesting. I'd love to chat with her.
Okay.
And see what she's like. Yeah, she's
Uh-huh.
kind of cool.
The same vibe, maybe?
Yeah, she's nice.
yeah.
Isn't she? Yeah, she's got a thing.
Would you survive without Wi-Fi for 24 hours?
Oh yeah, I'd do it all the time.
100%? Oh. Which cartoon character would be your co-host?
That's a good one. Maybe the Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
Yeah, I'd love to have the Flintstones on my show.
Imagine them being on your talk show. Oh, amazing. Would you rather get paid in money, food, or unlimited Wi-Fi?
Money, food. No, money. It's okay.
Money?
Yeah, because I
Fair
want
enough.
to choose my food. Then if you give me food I don't like, then
That's right. Even I'm a picky eater. Yeah. If you could rename Monday to anything else, what would you call it?
Sunday.
So- Fair enough. Would you rather host with a robot or a parrot?
Oh God, definitely not a parrot. I think it's okay. I say I don't want to hear my own opinion back from me. So not a parrot. I guess a robot.
Would you rather play the Nokia Snake game or Candy Crush?
Nokia Snake.
Your ultimate comfort show?
Like a show that I like to watch.
Like you can watch as many times as you want. Rewatch.
I really like this show called The Morning Show. I don't know if you
The Morning Show, yes, yes.
It's on Apple TV and it's got Jennifer Aniston.
I love Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
I've watched
she's
Friends so
really
many
cool.
times.
Yeah, Friends is like a no-brainer watch.
Uh-huh.
Like whenever I have nothing else to watch, it's like. But yeah.
What's your favorite childhood cartoon?
I didn't watch a lot of cartoons in my childhood. Like I was very nerdy, but I guess Captain Planet. Have you heard of this?
No, I've
He's
not.
the hero. Oh
Captain
my God.
Planet.
Millennials are gonna take pollution down to zero. Oh my God, I know the whole song. It's
I'm too Gen Z
embarrassing.
for this. I can't.
It's really bad. Please go watch it.
Maybe. I might just watch it. If your life had a theme song, what would it be?
If my life had a theme song, what would it be? I'll go back to This Girl Is on Fire.
This Girl's on Fire?
Yeah, today I'm really feeling that song. I heard it in the car on my way here. So.
Hyping you up on the ride? Yeah. If you could swap lives with anyone for 24 hours, who would it be?
Who would I swap lives with for 24 hours?
It's a pretty important question.
So one of my students is right now studying, I call her a friend, is right now studying literature at the Trinity College of Dublin. And she keeps sending me pictures of all her like lectures and all that she's doing. And I wish I could go be there and be her for one day.
Amazing. And what's the best piece of advice you've ever given in one line?
Given?
Yes. Or you want to give?
Chill, it's not that deep.
That's fair. Thank you so much, Ms. Malavika, for joining us. I hope you had an amazing time. We loved having you on our podcast and hope to see you again more often. Thank you, Miss.
Me too. Good luck, Aaron. Pass the baton on. Make sure that more kids do this.
Of course.
Super powerful.
Thank you. What a fascinating conversation and a memorable start to our podcast journey with Miss Malavika. We thank her for setting the tone and can't wait to bring you more exciting conversations in the episodes ahead.